Hey, Madison. It's Monday. Good morning. Good morning. Y'all, what is today? Like, it's the 9th, right? I think it's the 9th. I think I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Yeah, okay, perfect. I thought so. All right, so today's reading would be finishing up Genesis 25, Genesis 26, and 27. Yep, and 27. So, 25, 26, 27. I doubt we'll get through every bit of it this morning on here, but maybe we can read some of it and talk about it. Yeah. And that sounds good. Hi. Good morning. Oh, Amber, I've had to do one of those with Ethan. The struggle is real. The struggle is real. I'll be praying for you. Yes, we are live this morning. Good morning. So we're going to start on our January 9th reading, Genesis 25th, 27 through 34. Those of you who are reading the Bible in a year, do y'all have any questions? I was going to do a podcast yesterday on like an overview, and then I thought, well, maybe I won't, because we're going to start really talking about this stuff on Coffee Talk. But then I still seen a whole bunch of questions of like things that I've already went over on Coffee Talks that maybe some people just don't know about. So I maybe need to still record the podcast. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Good morning. Angie, yes. Are you off on Mondays now? You are, aren't you? Didn't that change? I woke up late. Barely got any sleep last night. For real. Went to bed at like 12. Definitely should have went to bed earlier. Dog woke up at 3. And then Emma came into my bed at around 5. Woke me up. My alarm went off at 6. I'm like, bruh, your girl tired. Tired this morning. But I still got up at 6:40. I got a load of laundry started. I washed some dishes, loaded the dishwasher, and cleaned up dinner from last night. And picked up the living room. So I'm still doing pretty good. I'm tired. Good morning. Light snow. Everything's frozen shut here. It's all frozen shut. Good morning. So I'm going to take that as there is not a lot of questions right now about the Bible reading in the year, which is fine with me. But I have seen a lot of questions in the group, so I just need to figure out the best way to answer all of them. Are y'all ready? We can go ahead and get started with January 9th reading. So a little backstory before we get started, just in case you're not caught up with your reading. All right, yesterday you should have read about Isaac having 2 sons. Okay, I don't remember how to say one of them's name. It's Ishua. I don't know how to say his name. But then there's Israel, who turns into Jacob. Okay? He's Jacob, and then he turns into Israel. All right? So you're going to read about him, and he's going to be Jacob for a little bit. Jacob actually means deceiver, which is going to be, it also means he grasped the heel, which is going to be real funny while we read. You're Esau. Is it Esau? Y'all the best. Y'all know I can't say these names. I'm a good reason to believe that God still exists. You can look at my life and believe that God still exists, but y'all ain't ready for that this morning, so we're going to continue our reading. But I'm a good reason. And I can name so many other men and women who are also really good reasons that God does still exist. But he grasped the heel because they were born, and the minute they were born, they were already fighting, so to say. One was grabbing the other heel. Jacob was grabbing Esau's heel, right? So they are going to be at battle for like a really good amount of time, all right? Because they're going to be the father of two nations, right? So that's kind of where we left off at, right? They have been born, and now we are about to read about their life. Right? And now we are about to read about their life and how they grew up and who they are, and we'll see how far we get, because this is some good stuff. All right, let's see. Now, me and my husband do record a podcast where we talk about different topics. We recorded our first one Wednesday. Yes. And that's when we will launch new ones every week. You can find those I upload them to YouTube. I don't know exactly what it's like, SPREAKER or something like that. The actual thing. This is a Expressions Bible. This is a Bible we are using to do our Bible reading in a year. But some people are using the Bible app, which is perfectly fine. This is all the Bibles that I use are in my link tree in the bio. Good morning. I love that. Oh, man. I've already dropped my pen this morning. I can't. This is it. This is what it's going to be today. No, it's not. It's not. It's going to be a great day. You're so welcome. It's going to be a great day. We are all proof of God's existence. I love it, Angie. Yes. Nelly, we are going to be in Genesis 25, verse 27. That would be such a good shirt. I don't know. All my shirt make people. Is Vicky on here? Listen. I'm the reason that God still exists. That would speak volumes. That needs to go on a shirt. I'm not going to put on a shirt because I'm not doing shirts anymore. But that would be a good shirt. I'm the reason that God still exists. Ooh, that'd be so good. That would be so good. You should totally do it. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, are you ready? All right, Genesis 25, verse 27. As the boys grew up, Esau became a skillful hunter. He was an outdoorsman, but Jacob had a quiet temperament, preferring to stay home. Isaac loved Esau because he enjoyed eating the wild game Esau brought home. But Rebekah loved Jacob. One day when Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau arrived home from the wilderness exhausted and hungry. Esau said to Jacob, "I'm starved. Give me some of that red stew." This is how Esau got his other name, Edom, which means red. "All right," Jacob replied, "but trade me your rights as your firstborn son." "Look, I'm dying of starvation," said Esau. "What good is my birthright to me now?" But Jacob said, "First, you must swear that your birthright is mine." So Esau swore an oath, thereby selling all of his rights as the firstborn to his brother Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and stew. Esau ate the meal, then got up and left. He showed contempt for his rights as the firstborn. Firstborn rights, who knows what they are? This is a NLT Expressions Bible. Vicky, you want to message me? We can talk some about these shirt ideas. All right, who knows what the firstborn, like, what does it mean when he sold his, why is this chair squeaking? Y'all know I can't sit still either. What does it mean that he sold his birthright? Yeah, birthright as the firstborn. What does that mean? Holly, there you go. It means that they get the inheritance. Yes. So yes, she's right. So they're going to get the inheritance, right? So when yesterday's reading, all right, which is just a little bit further up in Genesis 25, the Lord told Rebekah, okay, that the first twin, okay, the older twin would actually serve the younger, which is completely different than how it's originally supposed to be, right? The younger is supposed to kind of serve the first one, right? The first son, and the first son gets everything. So gets all the inheritance, right? So we see Esau selling everything, or not really selling, giving everything to his brother, simply because he's hungry. I don't really think it's that smart, but we're just gonna keep reading a little bit, and then we'll read some commentary and get that point of view. But it turns out to be really good. But we're getting ready to see the first time where I think it's right here. Maybe not though. Hold on. Yeah, we're getting ready to see where Isaac automatically starts deceiving people, and you are gonna see this through everything. Y'all be really trying this morning, ain't you? Yes. Okay, so let's keep reading. A severe famine now struck the land, as had happened before in Abraham's time. So Isaac moved to so-and-so place, where so-and-so king of the Philistines lived. The Lord appeared to Isaac and said, "Do not go down to Egypt, but do as I tell you. Live here as a foreigner in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. I hereby confirm that I will give all these lands to you and your descendants, just as I solemnly promised Abraham your father. I will curse your descendants to become as new." I will cause your descendants to become as numerous as the stars in the sky, and I will give them all these lands. And though to your descendants, all the nations of the earth will be blessed. I will do this because Abraham listened to me and obeyed. I will do this. My pen ain't working. Because Abraham listened to me and obeyed all my requirements, command, decrees, and instructions. So Isaac stayed in so-and-so place. When the men who lived there asked Isaac about his wife Rebekah, he said, "She is my sister." He was afraid to say, "She is my wife." He is making the exact same mistake that Abraham made. If you do recall, Abraham made it at least twice in our records. He thought, they will kill me to get to her because she is so beautiful. Abraham done the exact same thing. But sometime later, king of the Philistines looked out his window and saw Isaac kissing Rebekah. Is that the word? I can't say that word. Immediately, the king called for Isaac and exclaimed, "She is obviously your wife. Why did you say that she is your sister?" "Because I was afraid someone would kill me to get her from me," Isaac replied. "How could you do this to us?" the king exclaimed. "One of my people might have easily taken your wife and slept with her, and you would have made us guilty of great sin." Then the king issued a public proclamation. I can't say that. Anyone who touches this man or his wife shall be put to death. So if you remember, Abraham also made that same mistake twice. And it did kind of curse the people who it happened to, even though it was Abraham's sin, because they kind of fell in it too. Oh, I grabbed the wrong one here. Yep, grabbed the wrong one. Hold on. So it's an Expressions Bible. All the Bibles that I use and have are linked in my Amazon storefront. Generational sin. Yes, Angie. Yes, that's how I explained some of the stuff when people were asking me, well, why is the son, the one that's getting the punishment when the father is the one who did it? That's why. Generational sin. It shows that your sin can tag on to your children, right? Yes, it is right there. Right there. I use my illustrating Bible when I'm doing like verse by verse journaling, but I am really wanting to fill this whole Bible in a year. So like that is like my big goal, is to fill this whole Bible with just like notes and things that pop out to me. So that's kind of what I'm working towards this year. Did you just open that door all by yourself? Sir, my dog just opened the door all by himself. I cannot. Well, I don't know how he do that. All right, hold on. Let me find it. All right, let's see. Where was I? 27 through 34. Okay, I cannot be getting sick. Let's hope I'm not. All right, let's read what this Tony Evans commentary says. Personally, differences are an enormous factor in the conflict between Jacob and Esau. Esau was outgoing, while Jacob was a homebody. By itself, this may not have been a problem, but it apparently led the parents to choosing favorites. Isaac loved Esau because he was a man's man. He quoted that. And Rebekah loved Jacob because he loved spending time at home. Isaac and Rebekah were as much to blame as anyone in the feud between the two boys. Yep, that would be true. That'd be good. One day, as Esau arrived famished from the day of hunting, he made an incredibly foolish trade. Esau gave his inheritance to Jacob in exchange for a bowl of food. We see here the character flaws of both sons. Jacob, quick to seize upon Esau's hunger, immediately decided to squeeze him for all he was worth, sell your birthright. Right? He even made sure to put Esau on the hook by having him swear an oath. Jacob's grasping and deceiving ways are on full display here, right? And we're going to see him do that all throughout. And pretty soon you're going to see the deceiver be deceived. I don't know. It's so good. I love. This is one of my favorite stories. Esau, on the other hand, proved to be impulsive and short-sighted. When faced with the prospect of losing his double inheritance, he reasoned, I'm about to die from hunger. Lost my place. My goodness. So what good is the birthright to me? In other words, he settled for temporary satisfaction over hanging on to something of a more spiritual value. This is why the author says Esau despised his birthright, because he considered it so insignificant that a single bowl of stew could be more important to him. The author of Hebrews cautions his readers to avoid being a immoral or irreverent person like Esau. I like it. Need the warning. Never let physical satisfaction take precede over spiritual priorities. Ooh, that's good. That's probably what I'm going to write down. That is probably what I'm going to write down right there, because that's good. Whatever you do, you are despising that which is more value. Our generation, saturated with lies about, I can't say that word on TikTok. Need more warning now than ever. Saturated with lies about, what do people say? Sex? Is that how they say that? So they don't get banned? Need this warning now more than ever. Don't be an impulsive fool that Esau was, throwing away your future for momentarily pleasure. I like it. That's good. I got some more to read because we got to read for 26. But I do like this, and I will take some notes about it to help me remember. I think I will also take the note that I'm going to put the parents were as much to blame because they picked favorites. Right? Because the parents picked favorites, it probably made the other one. So when I read the Bible, pickle, I know, right? But not everybody's going to know what pickle means. When I lost what I was saying because you said pickle. I can't. It's not a devotion. It's a commentary. And it's a Tony Evans commentary. That note is probably going to be for, let me find it. It's probably actually going to be for over here, I guess. Or where did I read that at? Hold on. It's for the one where he says that the mother preferred one and that he preferred the other. There it is. Verse 28. Isaac loved Esau because he enjoyed the wild game. Esau were home, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Verse 28. The parents were as much to blame because they picked favorites. I wrote that down and put that in here simply as a reminder. How you treat your kids matters. Right? How you treat your kids, how you perceive your kids, how you love your kids, every bit of that matters. So I write down things that will stick out, right? I write down things that are good reminders for me, right? That like we got to be careful when we're teaching our kids and when we're loving our kids and all of these things, because we don't want the other one to feel some sort of way. And because they, point blank, you're my favorite, right? And they showed that favoritism, it caused a lot of strife in the family, right? So I write down stuff like that to remind me so that I don't make the mistake. Y'all know what I mean? Oscar is, I don't know how he just opened the door and came right on in. Also, I'm going to write down that one thing that I really liked. Never let how'd they say? Physical satisfaction I like how he said it. Take over spiritual priorities. That's good. How many times have you sacrificed something because of how you were feeling and you let it take precedence over your spiritual priorities? I think we do that every time we get mad at our husband or our wife and we act irrationally. There are so many times where we will feel some sort of way, and we let our feelings determine how we are going to act or how we are going to respond. Good morning. We are in the Bible reading in the year. We are on Genesis 25, the very end of it right now. I am putting my highlighters in order so that I know what I got going on here. Here we go. Oh, nope, had that wrong. That one first. Perfect. But we do that all the time. And we might not do it because we're hungry. We do it for many other reasons, right? We do it for many other reasons. We have feelings and then we act on our feelings instead of acting on the facts, right? What do we say? How do we say it, Angie? I done forgot. Fact is we feel, but feelings aren't facts. It is going to be for a couple of verses, right? It's going to be like for that whole story. So verse 29, all the way to 34. Because that literally sums up everything that happened right here. Jacob took advantage. Esau was hungry. Esau says, okay, you can have it. I'm hungry. Just feed me. And there was that. I also added to lose sight of our God-given inheritance. Yes. But really, though, I like it. But really, God had already given it to Jacob. Because he told Rebekah, right? God knew that was going to happen. He knew that Esau wasn't going to be spiritually focused enough to take on everything that God was going to need him to do. He handpicked Jacob. Funny, because Jacob, okay, was going to be this big old deceiver and was going to spend his whole life deceiving. And Jacob, we actually don't see a huge change in Jacob until his name changes, which is when he gets in a wrestling match with God. And that's some good stuff. I love that teaching because of how many of us have been in wrestling matches with God. I absolutely love that teaching. It is so good. I do not know. I would have to go look, but I'm not 100% sure if it's back in stock. Right? Okay. So that's really good. So never let physical satisfaction take over spiritual priorities, right? So we've already read, let's see, where did we read? We read 1 through 11, right? So let's read some of the commentary. This is literally what my daily study looks like. Usually, I'm using way more commentary. Usually I don't just use one, I use a couple. All right. Do you post a note that we take during Bible study? Yes. All of these videos are posted to YouTube. So you can actually go back and rewatch. But I don't usually post these notes. But now Holly might be willing to post them in the Facebook group for the Bible in a Year. And she usually does post it in our membership. I'm not really sure what that comment means. Thank you, Holly. Holly said she'll post in the Facebook group. All right, so let's keep reading. If this short account sounds familiar, it should, as I said. Abraham made that same mistake. Isaac's father Abraham tried the same trick with Sarah twice. Told ya. All right. With similar results. Yep. This context is similar. Isaac, like Abraham, was facing famine. So he had something to be scared of. Because of the famine, he moved into the region ruled by so-and-so, right? Out of fear for his life, he lied, okay? Abraham did the exact same thing. But the king soon learned the truth. Just as before, a ruler both scolded a man in his family for his deception and warned his own people not to touch the woman involved. Once more, we see God's commitment to keep his covenant. Since it would be necessarily that the line of descendant remain uncontaminated, it is ironic that in the midst of the scene of Isaac's fear and unfaithfulness, we find a repetition of God's covenant to him. Isaac, like Abraham, was promised lands, offsprings as numerous as the stars, and blessings that would be for all the nations on the earth. This promise, personally and internationally, would unconditionally made to Abraham and passed to Isaac despite his faithlessness. Right? So I like that. But it's kind of the same. I got to think about it. It's kind of the same thing. I underlined something. Where did it go? Right there. I will do this because Abraham listened to me and obeyed my requirements, commands, decrees, and instructions. Pam, yay. Yes, it is. He has a study Bible and a commentary that I really like. The Facebook group is they're all in the link tree. It's POH Read the Bible in a Year and Purpose of Hope. Okay, so my feelings or my thoughts. I don't know. Okay. This is some good stuff. Alright, so first things first. For verse 5 of Genesis 26, verse 5. God will be faithful to others because of your faith. Right? It ain't only important for us to have faith for ourselves, right? We've been doing coffee talk at least the 4 days a week. When did I start? Was it last week or the week before? The Lord said, I will do this because Abraham listened to me and obeyed. Like, God will be faithful to others because of your faith. Right? Aw, thank you. God will be faithful to others because of your faith. And it goes for verse 5. Even though Isaac over here, am I getting my people right? Yeah. Was following in the footsteps of Abraham, right? He was doing the exact same thing out of fear that Abraham did. And even though he was walking in faithlessness, right here, in this scenario, because he didn't think, God was strong enough to handle, these people finding out that was his wife and not his sister, right? Same thing Abraham did. God still reminded him that I'm going to give you this because of Abraham. Right? I'm going to give you this because of Abraham kept his faith. Right? So when we keep our faith, right, when our faith can literally be passed down to our generations. So that when they are making the same mistake that we have made in our life, we can guarantee that God isn't going to leave them. He isn't going to forsake them. He isn't going to just count them and throw them to the side, right? Because he promised to take care of us. And if he take care of us and we walk in our faith, then he's going to take care of our descendants too, our children too. And I really like that. Your faith can and will help others at a certain time in their life. And that right there is powerful. And if you don't hold on to your faith for your sake, I highly suggest that you hold on to your faith for the sake of those you're raising up. For the sake of those that you are bringing up to live in this world. Right? Because it matters. I mean, it's some good stuff. It's some good stuff. I don't really know how I want to take any more. I think I'm just going to write that Isaac I'm going to put followed in his father's footsteps, even in the bad. situations. Right? Almost like generational curses, right? It makes you question though. So there's a lot of the Bible that you're never going to get to know. There's a lot of the Bible, because you got to understand, all of this is like skipping, right? That's how the way I like to describe the Bible and reading the Bible is highlight reels. So you are not always going to get the full story. When you are reading this Bible, you read it based upon like, this happened, this happened, this happened. When really that's not how it happened. Really, this happened, a whole bunch of years passed. This happened, a whole bunch of time passed, and then this happened, right? You're not reading a back-to-back-to-back story, right? So it proposes me to ask the question, I wonder if Isaac knew about Abraham making that exact same mistake, right? Or did he not? Right? Because if he did, is that how he got the idea? Or if he didn't, is this really just a good old picture of generational curses? Right? Like, thank you, Crystal. Yep. Verse 5, God will be faithful to others because of your faith. And then I also wrote down, Isaac followed in his father's footsteps, even in the bad situations, right? And that's for that whole section, verses 1 through 11. Verses 1 through 11. Honey, my coffee needs warming up. Right? I think that's all I'm going to write on that. And we're going to keep moving on. Because there's other great stuff I would like to get to. There's a lot more that you could dig into that. If you really want to do like verse by verse studies, I highly recommend Enduring Word. Might be generational curses, right? But you know what? It's never going to tell us whether Isaac knew or not. But the kind of the thing that it brings me back to, as parents, and like my dad done this with me too, right? Don't we just like wish that our children would learn from our mistakes? You know what I mean? Like, we wish that they would, and we try to like advise them and tell them and like, enforce it. Like, don't do this. I made this mistake. This is how it ended. It didn't end good. Like, we try to educate them based upon the mistakes that we've made, right? That's what we do. But it doesn't seem to work. Kids have to experience these things. I don't know. For the longest time, I'll be honest with you, for the longest time, I felt like I could never learn, from somebody else's mistakes. I needed to make my own to learn, right? I think that maybe I was being arrogant, because you should learn. If you will learn the good stuff from them, right? Say your parents are very good at managing bills and money. If you learn the good stuff from them and you're willing to learn from their mistakes in that area, why are we not willing to learn from the mistakes they made? I will beg you a question. Because we think that it's fun. Because we think, I don't want to give up that, even though you're telling me it's a mistake, because it's fun. So I'm just going to go see for myself. Right? Like, I kind of feel that could be an imagery of that. Isaac thinking, well, it's not going to happen for me like it happened for you. It probably will. It probably will. It probably will. It may not result exactly the same, but it's going to have the same repercussions. It's probably going to be the same. You know what I mean? I'm at an age where my kids are trying to parent me. I'm dead, Ollie. Yeah, even though they were warned. But see, ain't that exactly how we are? Ain't that exactly how we are? Because what are we doing when we read this? Tell me what we're doing when we read this. When we read this, we are learning from all of these that come before us. We are learning the ways to do something and the ways not to do something. Right? That's so funny. That's what we're doing here. Is we're learning ways to be and the ways to not be. We're learning, okay, this is going to be the repercussion if I do this. Right? Like, so, and yet we were so unwilling to listen to our parents, right? This is the exact same thing. We're unwilling to listen to God's parenting us. Right? Like, we're unwilling, thank you, to listen to the things God is telling us is good for us and is bad for us. Right? But the good news about that is even when we're faithless, He's still faithful. Right? And He can't and He won't take His promises away. Right? Because He promised. So, I love that. I don't know. It's good thoughts. See, I think a lot about things when I read them. I ponder lots of questions. Because let me ponder you this too. This is really good. And I know I'm getting off track a little bit, but listen at me. We read this, or if you're reading Bible. Okay, y'all read about Rebecca? Y'all read about Rebecca, right? This is going to be in Genesis 24, right? Y'all read about Rebecca. Backstory, let me paint you a picture really quick. Abraham knows that he's getting old. He knows Isaac needs a wife. He knows Isaac needs a faithful wife because he knows that Isaac is promised all of these things that God has promised Abraham, right? So he sends his servant to go find Isaac's wife. All right, got you. Got y'all caught up. All right. Well, they're standing at this water thing, okay? At the water. And I just thought, when I was reading, see, this is where my mind goes. All right, y'all ready? I'm reading, and he prayed, please give me success today. This is a servant praying. Please give me success today, and show unfailing love to my master Abraham. How am I going to know? Please give me a drink from your jug. If she says, yes, I have a drink, I will water your camels too. Let her be the one you've selected for Isaac's wife. That's how I know that you've showed unfailing love to my master. Before he had even finished praying, he saw a young woman named Rebecca coming out the water jug. Like, talk about, have you ever been praying for something and then it just happened? It'd be like, well, that's fast. Steve started laughing at me because I was literally laughing. I was like, can you just imagine standing there praying for something? I was like, and then it just arrives. I said, you'd be like, you sure? That seemed a little bit too easy, Lord. You sure? Like, you be questioning everything about it. But here's my favorite part. I need you to notice something. In verse 10, see, these are the things that I read and think about and notice. In verse 10, when the servant left, okay, he loaded 10 of Abraham's camels. Okay, so it is this servant, okay, and 10 camels. Not one camel, not 2 camels, 10 camels. Now, go down to verse 18 right here. Yes, my lord, she answered, have a drink. And she quickly lowered her jug from her shoulder and gave him a drink. And when she'd given him a drink, she said, I'll draw water for your camels too. Hold on with me. Until they have had enough to drink. Okay, keep going. So she quickly emptied her jug into the watering thing and ran back to the well to draw water for all the camels. Do you know how... I don't know about you, but I'd be a one trip from the car to the house type of grocery person. Like, She literally got water, let the camels drink. Got water, let the camels drink. Got water, let the camels drink. Like, she was a servant. Listen, I don't do the whole, I'm not doing the whole debating thing with y'all. Saying facts like that about, the people who die of hunger, the people who die of this and die of that, and that's why you don't believe, is a lack of education about who God is. Period. And I have no earthly idea why I'm being, why there are so many just, trolls on everything. But your lack of understanding why things happen in this world is because of your lack of understanding about who God is. Okay? He's not a genie. You don't get to make 3 wishes and they all come true. It's not how it works, right? And that's all I'm going to say on that. Find who God is. And you'll find the answers to all of your things that you're questioning. All the things that you're saying, God can't be real because this happens and God can't be real because this happens. That's not how that works. This is actually Satan's world. We are living in his territory. We walk upon his world, okay? And he fell here and God came in and, brought order out of chaos, all right? So it's a lack of understanding, all right? And that's all I got. Let me get back to what I was teaching y'all, because this is good stuff. This is what I'm teaching y'all. She lowered that water jug and fed those camels over and over and over and over and over. Holly said it best. She worked for hours lowering that jug and pulling it and feeding the camel and going back. And I'm going to tell you what, she had a servant's heart, right? Even when it was exhausting and hard, she did it anyway. Right? Those are the things that I notice. You always read it. Oh, well, she gave him water. So what? Yeah, she gave 10 camels water. And not just a sip. Until they have had enough to drink. Yeah, while that man just watched JK. You're so funny. Yes. It's not that God can't do any. Listen, God can take everything that Satan does in this world and uses it for good. See, y'all's problem is that you're forgetting that you're not good. See, y'all are taking your own selves out of this equation. You're the reason that bad things happen. We're the reason. We are fleshly people who are evil, period. We have to train ourselves not to be. It's not a God problem, it's an us problem. God didn't do these issues, we did. We choose to rob banks. We choose to be bad. We choose to do this. It's our free will. We choose. He's not the problem. We are. He brings goodness. We bring chaos. He can fix it. We will mess it up. All right. He has all authority over absolutely everything. And we try to act like we do. That's the problem. We are trying to take the authority that's rightfully his. It's not God. It's not God creating the bad things. It's us. And it's us challenging the Lord. My Bible tells me that we should have fear of the Lord. You better have fear. He giveth and he taketh away. So you go ahead and curse his name. He can take away whatever he wants because it's understanding that this is his authority. It's all his. It's not ours to decide what we do with this house I live in. It's his. This table I'm sitting at is his. That dog I own, that's his. My children that I had, that I birthed, it's his. Everything that I own is his. My husband is his. He can take my husband home at any time he wants to. Right? He can take my kids home at any time he wants to. It's a lack of understanding of who God is. And we are mere humans who are evil at heart, period. We got to train ourselves not to be. And we be thinking we just some big stuff. We be thinking, oh, we should have the authority to make these decisions. No, we don't. We don't and we can't. And the minute that you try to start taking matters into your own hands, it results badly for you. And what's the first thing you do? Oh, God did that. No, ma'am, you did. No, you did. God didn't make all these bad things. You chose them. But see, that's another one of our things. We think, oh, something goes bad. Oh, it's God's fault. No, ma'am, it's your fault. It is likely your fault. It's our fault. Thinking that we are some high and mighty being. We're not. I don't deserve anything that he's gave me. So, the lack of understanding, okay, of why does God let this happen? If God has such authority, why can't he overtake him? He already has. Right now, we're living in the in-between times. Are you going to accept him or are you not? Because when he comes back and he sends him straight to hell and he sees everybody there with him that didn't believe in him, that's when you're going to be wishing it would. That's when you're going to be wishing that you wouldn't have been questioning everything to a point that you lost your life because of it. That you lost your soul because of it. We ain't living. God's already won. Already. And you see, the enemy knows that. Okay? So let's clear that up. We're living in an in-between time where you get to choose who you're going to be with at the end. Again, lack of understanding is because, or lack of asking these questions is a us problem, not a God problem. You don't understand who God is. And I know he has all authority. Because he took a mess like me and made it into something good. And I've seen him do it over and over and over again. So the enemy can keep on creating his messes and all of that. Listen, just because somebody dies, don't mean that God ain't good. I don't know why y'all got associated with death a bad thing. Death ain't gone forever. It's delivered, my friends. It's not bad. Like Bluetooth. Oh, yes. Hold on, Bluetooth. Okay, we're good. Y'all got this just deception of death. Of oh, it's so bad. Why did God make them leave? Why'd they leave me? Why'd God take them? Listen, they didn't die. They're not gone. They're delivered, my friends. That is a lack of perception of what death is. Yes, it is hard for us. But the Bible also tells me that when somebody does pass, I'm not supposed to mourn for them like a normal person because I have hope that I'll be with them again, that I'll see them again. You're supposed to grieve differently when you know that the Lord is in all of control. We're still going to miss them, and that's okay. We're going to have feelings. It's like exactly what I said at the beginning. How did I say that? The fact is we feel, but feelings aren't fact. Right? So we can feel sad and upset, but what we don't need to do is blame God because they are now living a life that we just dream of. They don't got to worry about the craziness. They don't got to worry about school shootings. They ain't got to worry about being sick. They ain't got to worry about nothing. Grief with peace. I like it. Yes. Yes. They're living great. Why would we want them back? That's selfish of us to say, I wish you'd come back. Because that would say that we want them to leave a life that's perfect for this world. That's kind of crappy. Just being honest. Right? Why would we want to do that to them? So I changed my perspective of how I seen death. I changed my perspective of how I see death. It's selfish of me to want them back. Because that would mean I want to take them away from the Lord and bring them here to this earth. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. That's selfish. That's selfish. And that's a hard path for me. Right? I changed the way, but my whole point, you're questioning those questions that the people ask. Yes. Like those questions that people ask. It's your lack of understanding about who God is. Get to know him and he'll change your life. And you can say all you want, well, my life is fine. My life's great. I don't need God. My life be good. I make good money. I got a beautiful house. I got beautiful children. I got this and I got that. I don't need God. All right. Okay, well, one day you're in a cage. And one day the door is going to slam shut. And you won't be able to change. And I don't know about y'all's perspective of hell. And I know y'all, fire blazing and, always working. All these things, okay, got it. You do realize that your mind is going to replay every moment that you could have accepted the Lord into your mind and you chose not to. That is what's going to torment you in hell. It ain't going to be the heat. It ain't going to be the work. It's going to be that you are going to be replaying in your mind every moment that you thought you didn't need him. That's what you're going to be replaying. Every moment that you could have accepted him into your life and you didn't. So, I know y'all pick like it's just going to be, it's great. I'll be fine. There's a place for me there. Okay. Well, that's your free will. That's your choice. But you have that's your lack of understanding of what it really is. Because if you really knew what it was, you wouldn't want to be there. And that's that. And that's it. Definitely praying over them, all the schools and the kids, and it's just... Whew. I read something. Yes. The enemy can deceive too, though. The enemy can bring you those things too. The enemy can give you money and a good life, all with intentions of deceiving you into thinking that you absolutely never need the Lord in the first place. See, it's getting a very, very good understanding of who God is and who the enemy is, right? And that's how you differentiate? How's that? The two. That's how you tell the two apart, right? It's because you learn who they are. But the enemy can give you things too to deceive you. The way that listen, here, let me help you out this morning. The way the enemy treats you, okay, is what he knows about you. That's it. See, he knows me. He knows I'm not giving up on the Lord. He knows that I'm in the long haul for it. He knows that I am going to study and I'm going to teach and I'm going to do what I'm called to do. He knows that I truly and in my heart like gave everything to the Lord. He knows I'm surrendered. So what does he do? He knows I'm already saved. So what does he do? He comes to me and tries to get me to quit on a constant. He comes through and says, hey, this is too hard, you should quit. Oh, looks like business is slowing down, you should quit. Oh, you should quit. Like, he comes to me and tells me how uneducated or unqualified or this or that. He gets in here with me because he knows I'm surrendered. He knows I ain't lying. He knows I ain't listening. But what he can do or what he tries to do is get me to feel some sort of way so I'll quit. See, he knows that he can't get to me about money and nice things and this and that. He knows the way to get to me, so to say, is to give me thoughts in my mind that I gotta defeat. Right? Right. Gotta learn how to rebuke it. Like, but if you aren't there, say you're not there, say you're not completely surrendered, then he's got an opportunity with you. Oh, let me bless her a little bit. Let me do this a little bit. Let me do this. I'm going to deceive her into thinking her life is perfectly fine without him. He knows that's the way he can get you. Right? He will get into the cracks of your life wherever you have placed them. Please know that. So, if you are battling whatever it is, your marriage, your finances, depression, anxiety, maybe even sickness, like, I don't know what you're battling, but you're battling something. And it's a struggle for you. Okay? That is where the cracks are. And he will get into those because we haven't sealed them up. How does the enemy not get in? You seal up the cracks. Literally. You fix the marriage. You fix the finances. You fix your mind. You fix your thinking. You fix it. You seal up the cracks. But he will test you and come into your life where you have let him in. You really need to understand that. Right? He's a deceiver. So he's going to try to deceive you into thinking, especially if you ain't come to the Lord yet. He's going to deceive you into thinking, you don't need God. See, all those questions that I was getting this morning, deceived. The enemy has snuck in and said, well, if your God's so good, why am I still here? Right? I got news for you. He's here because he fell here. Because he got kicked out. All right? He's deceiving you into thinking that he's in control, but he ain't. He ain't. I promise. He ain't. Right? And the whole, why does God let people die of hunger and da-da-da-da. It's understanding that this world is full of evil things. Right? Like, and it's trusting the Lord that he has a plan for absolutely everything. And he does. And he does. And you're not going to understand. It's coming into an acceptance, really, that we don't have the authority to know everything. And we're not going to. And you should be okay with that. You're not going to know everything or understand everything. There is lots of things happening behind the scenes that you don't know nothing about. You don't know nothing about. Ain't none of your business. Stay in your lane. Right? You need to be okay with that. It's not about knowledge, it's about faith. I like that. Yes. Yes. Like, until you go and get to stand with the Lord himself, you are not going to understand everything. And you don't need to. You really don't need to. We got some control issues. You know what I mean? You really don't need to. And listen, some of the things you don't know is for your own protection. Because what if it's your fault that they're dying of hunger? What if it's my fault? What if it's everybody's fault that's on this video? Guess you didn't want to know that hard fact, right? Maybe you don't know the answers because maybe revealing that to you would be God telling you that you're the problem. That'd hurt a little bit, wouldn't it? Like, some things you aren't supposed to know for protection. Right? But it's realizing that usually we're the problem. Usually it's me and you and everybody else that's on here. We're the problem. Not him. It's us. And man, when you come to accept that, you'll walk differently and you'll live differently. Yeah, if we knew the whole plan, we would mess it up. That's right. I know that's right. I know that's right. Yes. Let's see. I know somebody asked about these videos. I do them on, I don't go live every day, but Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Yes. Yes. If it don't hurt, you're usually doing it wrong because you were going to be exposed anyway. Yes. Yes. I love that. Like, I'm going to tell y'all what. Y'all know fun. Y'all want to know something funny? I know my husband often shares with y'all that he shares with a lot of the people who, you know, we have a relationship with that follows us and, you know, follows our journey. And he often tells y'all, you know, that y'all have no idea how long that I spend, you know, studying and like all of these things so that I can, you know, advance the kingdom, right? I do what I'm called to do. I'm telling you what, I do it so much, the Lord be talking to me in my sleep. I had a dream that I was studying. I was learning the Bible in my dream before I went on a coffee talk. Lord, it has resulted to this. The Lord teaches me in my sleep. I mean, I can't even. I woke up laughing. I was like, man, like, I be studying so much. I be studying when I'm sleeping. Like, I was dead. I hope you have an awesome day. But for real, I be dreaming about studying because I study so much. I'm going to tell you what, the studying is what changed, like, the Lord changed my life. And that's what made me surrender to everything that he asked me to. And that's when I started doing this. And I'm telling you what, since I have surrendered and done what he has asked me to do, my life is forever changed. Forever changed. And honestly, I had no idea what I was going to be talking about this morning. But I dreamed about this last night. I don't even remember what I was talking about. But I dreamed that I what's the words? I'm going to say preached it. Because that sounds nicer. I dreamed that I've done that. So I don't know the Lord. But Lord be funny sometimes. But I'm gonna tell you what, man, I'm not the same. And everybody sees it. Everybody sees the type of, just looking at the pictures of me, of who I used to be. There's something different about me now. I glow different, literally. Like, I glow differently because of what he's done for me. And I tell you what, learning about him makes you get so close to him. And man, your worries start to fade away because you realize that he's got it. He's got it. Like, I used to suffer from anxiety attacks and really bad depression. Really bad. And I'll tell you what, the closer I got to him, the more it vanished. And now people look at me and they say, do you worry about anything? Like anything? I'm like, nope. Joe, don't. I do not. Like, you really don't, do you? Nope. That's a waste of time. The Lord gonna figure it out. Like, that's all I need to know is the Lord's gonna figure it out. And the Lord's gonna figure it out. So I'm just gonna stay right here. I'm gonna do what he tells me to do when he tells me to do it. But otherwise, I'm gonna stay put. I'm gonna stay in my lane. And I'm gonna let the Lord do his, okay? I'll do my work. He does his. And that's exactly it. Right? And I don't worry about nothing. I don't worry about nothing. Because he promised me that he'd come through. So what do I got to worry about? Like, I don't know. It really, and I've shared it before and I'll say it again. I might get hyped up when I get those messages, right? And like, I'm ready to tell you and preach you, all right? I'm ready. But I'll just tell you something. It never makes me mad. It makes me sad. It really does. Because the enemy has a hold on them. Are you taking anything to school, or have you already done that?
Already done.
Oh, okay. Dang, okay. You on it this morning?
Barely missed.
Barely made the bus. Charlie. No, don't you start playing with Oscar. Stop it. They're gonna start in. It makes me sad because they are being so deceived by the ways of the world. And it makes me sad that they won't get to experience the things that I experience. The blessings that God puts on my life. The crazy things that happen to me simply because God is good, right? The things that God has done for me, the ways he has changed me, the change inside of me, like everything. Everything. The way he molded me and changed me from the inside out. Like, the way my life used to be compared to the way my life is now. I mean, it's just so much. It's just so much. And that's what makes me sad. Is that they're going to miss out on that. If they don't let God lead them. Like, I've told some of you a story one time, and I just feel the need to share it again. There's this person that I know, and he had the same views that you guys have about, the Lord, or the ones that are questioning me, okay, about the Lord. And one of his sons passed away, okay? Well, it tore him up, as it would any parent, all right? But then he publicly cursed God. Publicly. Told him he was a joke, told him he was going to whoop his butt. A man going to whoop the Lord's butt. LOL. Maybe he said it in not so nice words. Okay? He got on social media and he publicly, cursed the Lord. 2 days later, his other son was gone as well. Don't test the Lord. Don't do that. Don't do it. He giveth and he taketh away. You need to learn his authority. Right? It's his authority. This is all his. You don't own any of it. And when you start looking at it that way, it's going to change the view of how you look at life and how you look at yourself and how you look at your kids and how you look at your marriage. You'll realize that none of it's for you. I don't know how to put it. But those are the things that break my heart. People that are so strongly feeling like, they're being so strongly deceived. Is that the right words? They're being so strongly deceived that they're blaming God for what Satan has created. You gotta have discernment, friends. You gotta know what's of the enemy and what's of the Lord. And quit blaming the Lord for things that the enemy did. Quit blaming the Lord for things that the enemy tore apart. Quit blaming the Lord for things that you tore apart. Y'all blaming the Lord for things he didn't do. And I got news for you that even though you blame him, he still loves you. And that says a lot, because usually when people are placing blame on you, you're mad at them. And you're hurt by them. And you might even say mean things about them because they're placing blame on you. But y'all be placing the blame on the Lord and he still loves you. I don't know how else to get the point across. People just don't believe because they simply choose not to. Because they're simply deceived. That's it. That's it. It really is. That's it. They are deceived into, really though, the biggest thing that I see is people start blaming God when things in their life isn't working out how they wish it would. They lose something that they think they should have never lost. Maybe something's been taken away from them, or they've lost something. Something bad usually has happened in their life, and the only person that they know to blame is the Lord. That's usually why they don't believe, because they are spending so much time blaming God for the bad things that are happening that they are not willing to see that he's the only one that can fix it. But see, the minute that they let go of that blame and they give it all to the Father, he'll fix every part of it. He'll make it whole again. He'll take the brokenness away. He'll mend the cracks. He'll mold and change it into something completely new. But see, they're not willing to do that. Not willing to do that. See, too many of us are not willing to go through the refiner's fire. They put silver under fire to melt it down, so that when it gets hot enough, all its impurities will go to the top. And they can remove all the impurities and then mold that silver into whatever they want it to be. You see, the Bible constantly talks about us going through a refiner's fire. A fire that refines us. A fire that changes us. A fire that gets so hot and bubbly that all of our imperfections go to the top so that he can scoop them up and remove them. Right? But see, we want to be refined without the fire, and we can't do that. We want to be changed into something new without having to be heated up and molded. We don't like it when it gets hot in here. Right? We want to be changed into something beautiful without having to go through the heat. It doesn't work like that. We will constantly go through the refiner's fire. We will constantly walk into the fire. You see, just how you come out of the fire is your choice. When you walked in, did you walk in with the Lord? Did you walk in faith? Because if you did, then you can be like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and by George, you can walk right out of there unburned, my friends. And made into something new. But see, if you didn't walk into it with the Lord, you're going to have a lot of scrapes and bruises before you get out. You can't be something new without being refined, without being changed, without being molded and walking into the heat. Yes, Vicky. If we went through what Jesus went through for someone else's sin, we wouldn't be able to handle it. Amen. I know that's right. I know that's right. That's simply why they don't believe, though. But I didn't get very far in my reading today. So sorry, my friends. I'm definitely going to have to finish that up. I'll try to record a TikTok of it when I do. Give y'all a little bit of details about it. It's almost 9 o'clock, so I'm going to have to go work for the day. And I got to highlight this stuff right here. I tell you what, they was on it today. Can you see Charlie? Steve! Bring Charlie! My pit ski. Say, Sam? It's a pit and a husky together. And apparently they are pitskis. Tell you what he is. A heathen. That's what he is. He's a heathen. Tell you what. Drive somebody crazy. Tell you what. That's some good stuff. I don't know. I'm on it today.
Some days he's free to a good home.
Some days he's free to a good home. All right, come here. He just touched you. Calm down. Oh, here he be. Look, they want to see you. Quit now. Look, get your eyeballs. They got blue eyes. All right, heathen, go on. No, do not. Charlie, come on. No. This way, sir. Get him. Not my toe.
Charlie, come on.
He said, nuh-uh, y'all don't let me in here. It's over now. I'm going to be a heathen. He's cute, but he's rude. Tell you what, he'll jump up on you, steal your chair, sit right on top of you like you ain't even there. I didn't even mean to rhyme, but that's pretty good. The husky's Oscar, and he is my loyal and faithful companion. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. He's just a baby. He is, though. Whew, I don't know why we thought that's a good idea. It was not. Let me just tell you right now, if you want a puppy, don't do it. It's not fun. I don't like it. Nope. I probably wouldn't do it again if I had it over. But I'm going to keep him. I'm going to keep him and I'm going to love him. We are going to be launching bookmarks. Here's our new Bible journaling stickers. Aren't they so pretty? It says, I killed Jesus, but Jesus saved me. Ooh. These are so pretty. But these are our new stickers. Yes, he's house trained. Oh, Lord. Hallelujah. Yes, he is. He was house trained pretty early because that's one thing I can't handle. Why didn't you tell me that 3 months ago? I love it. Bible journaling stickers, bookmarks. Look at these cute things. I love this. We have a new tumbler launching that looks like similar to this, and it is beautiful. We have this sticker coming. It says he'll carry you home. It's beautiful. We got lots of new things going to be posted this week. All of these things, so if y'all go to the link tree in my bio, go to Purpose of Hope Facebook group, okay? And all the new stuff's going to be launched on Wednesday. Yep. On Wednesday. All the new stuff will be launched on Wednesday. So yeah. Yes, Vicky, I will. I got ideas. I just don't want to make the shirts anymore. We'll talk about it. I use a whole bunch of different apps. I use Canva, and then I use Procreate. And then I also use GoodNotes for some of it. Just depends on what I'm creating. Not really an artist, but I do like design and creating things. I don't necessarily, I kind of draw these and kind of don't. It's more like a trace feature. I'm not a freehand artist by any means, but I do like design. I'm good at designing things. These pens are Micron, M-I-C-R-O-N. They're the 05. It's the only one that I like, but they are also in the Amazon storefront under Bible Tools because I love these. I love these two, which is the highlighters that I'm using for this Bible, but they are they bleed. So please don't buy these if you don't want them to bleed. I really don't care. Now, this is our Bible journaling kit. We created a Bible journaling kit. This is what I use with my illustrating Bible. It comes with a little pouch, and then it comes with these highlighters. And all of this is on my purposeofhope.com website. There's actually 6 of them. I didn't pull it all out. But these are beautiful, and they don't bleed. They don't bleed. They come in our kit, and you also get sticky notes and erasable pens and clear sticky notes and a Sharpie. So lots of things. We love our Bible journaling kit. Yay, I'm so glad you love your Bible journaling kit. Yeah, I love it. I mean, I only have 2 different things. I bought new highlighters for this Bible, and I decided to use this pen for it. And then I used that kit for that Bible. It's just, I don't know, I like to keep things color coordinated. Kind of OCD a little bit. I've never sold the pouch separately, but if you want to message me about it, I can. Do you need to buy a certain program to journal? If you have GoodNotes, I have an iPad with GoodNotes, and She Reads Truth. Do you need it? Is your She Reads Truth a digital download? Yes, they will be shipped out together. I love that. That makes me happy. Be Still totes are already on the way. All right, I think that's all the questions for today. But we got lots of work to do today. I'm going to finish my Bible reading. Yes, I do. I'm going to finish my Bible reading. I hope y'all have a fabulous day. Y'all know if y'all need anything, y'all just let me know. Hope you learned something today. Hope you have a great day. Perfect. A good Monday. It's going to be a great day. It is. Just tell yourself that. The enemy ain't going to win today, right? So I love y'all so big. I hope y'all have a fabulous Monday. And I will see you guys tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Bye, guys.